This program is aimed at capacitating the institution, the traditional leaders, which is part of the permanent governance structures in Zimbabwe, supported by EU and Conrad Adenauer Stiftung. Before our training or intervention, you realize that there are changes taking place in the institution of the traditional leadership due to death, age, etc., and also migration to other countries. As a result of that, there's a knowledge gap in terms of how things can be properly done. The traditional leaders were actually appreciative of this training because some of them have been in the office for 10, 15 years and they have not gone through just induction, basic training for them to understand how they are supposed to do their work. How do they relate to the communities that they are supposed to be leading.
Ndine more than 50 years ndiri sabhuku atabata ndiri workshop yakadai ndiye kutanga paupenyu saka toda kukutendera zvamaita ende varovha varasikirwa nekuti pamwe maybe tozoona after another 10 years kana togona kusvika mukufa nokuti vazhinji vafa vasina kusangana nedzidziso yakadai saka tinotenda mapartners edu tadzidza social cohesion, green economy nezvenhiri dzaitwa induction ye-traditional leaders act.
Why social cohesion? Traditional leaders, as custodians of our culture, traditional norms, they need also to be conversant with the issues of social cohesion. Because in the absence of social cohesion, connectedness, and this oneness, then development becomes a big challenge. Some of the appointed village heads are not resident in the village, and they have assigned that responsibility to relatives, and also they have left their handsets now, given the fact that they are being paid through the eco cash system. So they have just left the handsets with their wives, moved down to South Africa or urban areas. So there's a gap actually that needs to be closed.
Pazvidzidzo zvese zvatadzidza nhasi tadzidza zvakanaka fani sabhuku ndiye muridzi wezvese kubvira kuna purezidendi vedu. Purezidendi ari kuremekedza sabhuku kuti ndokuti ndiye ari pagiraundi, ndiye anoona nezvokutemwa kwemiti nevanhu vanorima mapani, anotori nemasimba ekudzivisa izvozvo. Saka izvozvo zvandifadza kuti taanopuhwa masimba ekuti nyika yedu ufambe zvakanaka.
And also the issues of succession at the death of a village head, that is an area of controversy. How is it done? In most cases, you find out that it is supposed to be the secretary of the village who should spearhead or who should be the caretaker in between. But in most cases, this legal aspect is overlooked. Relatives, normally they just take over and do as they wish. But now, they are clear of what is expected of them. The role of the secretary, village secretary, now is very clear to them, that they know that in absence of village head, the secretary is supposed to be taking a leading role until a substantive village head is appointed as per the Traditional Leaders Act and the Constitution. So this was also the gray area before the training.
Chanyanya kutibatsirawo kuziva kuti kana tiri pamusha tinochengetedza sei mitemo yedu, tinobatsira sei vanhu vatigere navo mumisha yedu zvekare.
The traditional leaders thought that they have all the powers to allocate people land for resettlement, which is wrong. They just have to make recommendations to the village development committee. The village development committee then makes a recommendation to the village assembly. If the village assembly gives an okay, then it moves on to the ward. The ward then takes the issue to the village head, who takes it up then to the chief. The chief takes it up to the rural district council, and that's the legal process how people should be settled. But there have been so many shortcuts whereby people, the village heads have been to the point of selling the communal lands, which is an offense in terms of the Communal Lands Act, because communal lands belongs to the state. and they are custodians. They have got user rights, and they have no rights to sell because they got it for free, so they must also do the same. They are custodians. So I think that has helped actually to make things clear how they relate to the governance structure.
zvigaro zvikakwanisa kugara zvichiwanika zvinhu zvakadai izvi ndinodaira kuti zvinoita kuti misha yedu ive misha yakanaka.
The training actually opened up their eyes to see that they need to be conversant with a number of acts like the Constitution, the Traditional Leaders Act, the Communal Lands Act, which they were not aware of. And in the process, we managed also to distribute to each of those councillors, 2,000 plus who attended, copies of the Traditional Leaders Act, copies of the Communal Lands Act, which actually govern how they are supposed to facilitate human settlement at the village level.
Ndinotenda Mwari anobatsira padunhu redu rekwaNduyemba kuti tiwane chidzidzo chakaita sechichi chauya kwatiri nhasi. Nokunga tabatawo zvishoma zvitabata, asi tapiwa mapepa aya ekuti tinoita setinoverenga, tinzwisise, hazvisi zvekungotaura chete. Tinofanirwa kuti kunzwa nekuita. Saka zvakwatiri kuti tipinde kuvanhu tichi-implementa kana kuti tichiita zvatadzidza pano.
We are also grateful to the Minister of Local Government for allowing us to partner with them in the implementation of this program, and also the rural local authorities in Zimbabwe for supporting these initiatives. The offices of the district administrators are also responsible for driving this process.